We are live here at the NerdFellas studio.
Woo-hoo. This is Mike Wante. And I am joined as always with
Martin Ramirez, of course, the other half, the beautiful face of NerdFellas.
This is very true. No one likes my face. It's ugly.
But we're finally doing a video. Well, not even a video. This is a podcast.
This is a podcast. This is actually, if you get on YouTube or SoundCloud for now, this is actually the second Nerdcast that you will hear.
Yeah. And we're hoping to do this at least once a week. It's going to be tough, but that's our goal.
We need some kind of consistency in our lives.
Yeah. And so far, our consistency consists of not doing videos for NerdFellas. So.
But we have some plans for the year. We're very excited. It's 2018. This is the first weekend, so we will be bringing a Nerdcast, even if it's just 1, 2, or different people getting on. You know, we're going to do it every weekend.
You should invest in another mic. We should get another mic.
So I have a mic right here.
In case, use it. Oh, there you go. All right.
I've always had that mic.
Well, Jesus Christ. Let me get my mic back.
No, I like yours better.
All right, but what are we doing today? We're doing the top 10 movies of 2017.
Seeing as we are more movie buffs than anything else, and we do like a bunch of other things. I love my comic books, my action figures, all that fun stuff, everything nerdy, you know us. But we are going to talk about movies right now. 2017 had a lot of movies.
A ton.
And I honestly wouldn't have been able to see a lot of them without that movie pass card.
I'm glad I got one. I'm glad I told you to get one.
Yes, because, there was a lot of skepticism. It's like, what, $10 a month, any movie I want? There are,
a few drawbacks.
There's a few drawbacks.
But to be honest, they're not like deal breakers.
Yeah, it's not a deal breaker. If you're big on premieres, it could be a deal breaker for you because you like reserved seating. It's not gonna work.
There is a different card for that. There's one called Cinemia. And that one you can actually do reserved seating. You can book online. You can do it weeks in advance. It's more expensive. It's like $30 a month, and you can only watch 3 movies.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
But you can watch IMAX, you can watch XD.
You know what? I'm there for, I'm willing to pay out of pocket for Star Wars and IMAX.
Me too.
I'll do that.
Me too. That's why Movie Pass for me is perfect.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
So, there were a lot of movies, and, I'm going to be up front. There's some big ones that I did not see. I just totally skipped.
Same. Let's go through it. You want to start off with your 5 that you like the ones that you really wanted to see, but you just didn't get to.
All right, there's at least 6 that I did not see that, and there's probably a few others that I didn't get to see. But let's give you my didn't sees. The one most disappointing one that I didn't get to see was Blade Runner 2049. I really wanted to see that one, and Carlos is going to be mad that I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Our buddy out in Austin. But it's something I really wanted to see. I just never got around to it.
Did you see the original?
I did see the original.
Did you like it?
It's enjoyable. It's a classic.
It's hard to get through sometimes.
Sometimes it is.
Like if you watch, especially if you watch like the theatrical cut, where like there's narration.
The narration makes it worse.
That is like pain.
And I will tell you, the first time I saw Blade Runner, I fell asleep halfway through the movie. It's a good noir kind of film.
Yeah.
It's really long.
Yeah.
But it was still it's part of cinematic history.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something that's always going to be on the top lists of many people. But it's just I don't know. And I've heard good things about Blade Runner 2049. They say that they captured the essence of the original, and you're going to get that same feeling, and you're also going to probably fall asleep. But it was still a good movie, and I need to go see it. So that's one of the ones. What about you? Give me one.
This is a big one. It might even be on your list, but I did not get to see War for the Planet of the Apes.
I did see that movie. How dare you?
Because it's weird. Like I was supposed to go see that with this girl, and she totally bailed on me. And then I was like, okay, I'll go by myself, whatever. And then I never saw it.
And it's funny because I want to say the first, maybe even the first 2, we went to the theaters together.
Yes, the first one I loved. Sure.
And we both went together.
And I want to say I saw the second one maybe with you. I'm not sure.
I think we might have.
But I know I saw that in theaters also. So I'm disappointed in myself that I didn't get to see War for the Planet of the Apes.
I was actually more disappointed that we didn't get a steelbook for this one, but
I know. I was super pissed.
And I'm big on collecting steelbooks.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
there was no special
editions.
nothing.
But you know,
that
maybe
was
there's something.
that should be its own list. Like, what the hell's whatever.
All right. Well, I have one that's probably on both our lists.
Okay.
Dunkirk. I did not get to see Dunkirk.
I did not either. Carlos hates me right now
for not seeing it
because he actually put it on my Vudu like a week ago,
which I also have access to, and I need to jump on there and watch.
I still haven't seen it.
You know, and if it wasn't for your Vudu, for all the movies that you buy and sometimes never watch, I should have seen a few of these. Like, and there are a few that are on my top 10 that thank God they were on your Vudu, otherwise they wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you?
It Comes at Night. Everyone that I know has been talking like, dude, have you seen that movie? Do you need to watch it? And I'm like, no, I haven't. Like, I still haven't. And
I didn't see it either.
So I'm like really.
And Joel Edgerton's the lead, and he's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah, me too. He's awesome.
He's awesome.
But yeah, no, I have not gotten to see that quite yet.
I'm gonna have to get around to that one. Another one that I haven't seen that, and you know, I have kids, and I should take them to see this, and I just never got to. Is Coco.
Oh, you're a bastard.
I never got to see Coco.
You're a bastard.
But I will say this: there's one reason I haven't gotten to see it, and you know, those actually I know what Coco deals with. You know, someone that's not there anymore. You know, they passed away, and you know, we recently had a death in the family, so I think it was.
That's right.
Yeah, so it was hard for the family to, or you know, Liz in particular, my wife, to go see it. So we haven't gone yet, but. We'll see it eventually.
That makes sense. I can understand that. Another one for me were actually two movies that came out recently, so I just haven't gotten to see them yet.
Okay.
But I, Tonya.
Okay.
And Molly's Game.
Didn't see either one.
Right. I, Tonya, that whole story is very intriguing to me.
Yes. Especially because it's a different point of view.
Right. Yeah. And
it's all opinionated.
Like, I bet you anything if they would have made the Nancy Kerrigan version of it, it would have been like a Hallmark. More dramatized. Oh, no, yeah, like a Hallmark type of
film.
Lifetime, yeah. It would have been one of those. But this one...
Lifetime.
But this one, it's like taking it from like Tonya Harding's point of view. So that's
also her husband's point of view.
Yeah, so
different.
I'm excited to see it because I love Margot Robbie. Mm-hmm. I love Sebastian Stan.
Yes.
And I forgot the mom that plays the mom. She's in a lot of movies too, but she's awesome too. And so I really wanted to see that movie and get to see it.
I'm gonna give you 3 other ones that I haven't seen that. They may even be Oscar contenders.
Ooh.
So I need to see them before the Oscar race.
Okay.
Here's the 3: Ghost Story.
Okay.
Darkest Hour.
Okay. Oh yeah.
And Wind River. I didn't get to see those. Oh shit!
3. I did not put that on my list. Darkest Hour it should have been on my list of not seen.
Okay.
Because I didn't see it either.
Yep.
But from everything I've heard, and you can't take that. You gotta take everything you hear with a grain of salt.
Of course.
You know, but Gary Oldman, they're saying it's gonna be like
Gary Oldman's
is like a shoe-in almost.
Yeah.
For him, so that's exciting, and I really want to see it. I love I love period pieces, especially like World War II.
Yes.
And it's funny I say that because I didn't even see Dunkirk either.
Yeah, I know.
But
such a hypocrite.
That and then Wind River I did see, and we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
And what was your other one?
Ghost Story.
Ghost Story is also on my list. I didn't like. It wasn't like my anticipate. Like it wasn't like.
Yeah.
So I don't know anything about that movie, to be honest.
Yeah, I know enough to where it's not literally a ghost story. It's not a horror film.
Right.
I believe it does deal with loss, and I just haven't gotten to see
Casey Affleck, right?
Casey Affleck, Rooney Mara. Last
year, Manchester by the Sea, another movie about loss.
That was 2 years ago.
No, he won the. Well, I don't know. He was nominated this year though, because it came out last year.
It came out in
2016.
16, and he won in 17.
Yeah, which is Oh shit! I forget we're in 2018.
You're way out of here.
Yeah, I know. My bad. Okay.
But yes, that was a good movie. Manchester.
Right,
If you guys have not seen Manchester by this,
yeah. So I have some hope for Ghost Story.
Yeah, I need to see that one, and another one just came to mind. Rememory. I don't know why. I just
that I don't know if that even came out in theaters though.
I think
that looked like it was like a straight to video type of thing.
It might have been, but I mean that's our list of what we haven't seen.
Yeah.
Right? Did you have anything else that
just Molly's Game? We didn't really talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the gambling thing.
Yeah, okay. and it's Aaron Sorkin. The writer. He wrote Gone. Oh no, he didn't write Gone Girl. He wrote The Social Network. He wrote The West Wing.
Yeah.
So he's a really proficient, writer and everything. But
Jessica Chastain.
And it's weird because like from the trailers, I'm like, okay, this movie, I don't know about this one. But then I'm hearing like, holy shit, this movie is fucking good.
It has Idris Alba, Jessica Chastain,
yeah.
And then it also had a cameo from...
was it Shia LaBeouf?
Michael Cera.
Oh, Michael Cera. Why did I think Shia LaBeouf?
What if it's Shia LaBeouf playing Michael Cera?
Oh, that's what I want to see.
That would be a good biopic.
Biopic or biopic?
Biopic.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Biopic.
It could be both.
Biopic sounds medical.
It's a biopic.
It's a biopic.
He's
gonna get a biopic done. like about himself.
Biopic. I don't think anyone says biopic.
I say biopic. I hear a lot of people say biopic.
I hear
like biography and pic, not biopic. That sounds weird.
Biopic.
Bio, like a like a biography.
Yeah, bio. When you say
bio,
yeah,
bio,
you say bio
and pic. Biopic.
But when you put them together, it's biopic.
That just sounds pretentious.
Okay, anyway,
let's get into the top 10.
It's like Target and Target.
Target. Ooh.
I'm going to Target.
Yeah, nobody says Target unless you're being stupid. But okay.
Okay, let's move on.
So this top 10, this is what I'm going to do. I don't know if you're going to do this.
Okay.
I'm going to do just like in no particular order, and then I'll give you my number 3, 2 and 1.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
So all these movies could be like number 4, like number 5. But I'm not gonna say where they're at because I don't want to get into hard discussions. Like, it's because like this, whatever.
Well, you know what? And then we can basically say this. This is from the films that we did get to see.
Yes.
And this is a list of films that we enjoyed, we liked.
Yeah.
It's not critically amazing.
Yeah, and some of them are, to be honest.
Oh yeah, some of them.
Some of them were critically praised and stuff, but these are just like my favorite ones I saw this year.
All right.
Or last year.
I'll do the same thing, and then just before we say our number 1,
we'll do
runner-ups.
Yeah, runner-ups.
Okay.
Alrighty. You want to go first? Pick one movie.
All right.
We might have the same movie.
Probably not, but let's try it. My number 10.
Oh, you were literally going 10 through 1.
Is that how you want to do it?
I'm not, because I didn't list mine like that.
Okay, well, I'll just give you my number 10.
Okay.
Baby Driver.
It is in my... I don't even want to say. It's in my list.
It's in your list. Okay.
Damn it, dude, because...
Baby Driver's in my list, but it's oddly number 10 because I enjoy a good movie from that director, Edgar Wright.
Me too.
And he hasn't really failed me. He's always done a great movie. I think Baby Driver is probably the weakest one he's done. Really? In all honesty, I don't know why. I think it was.
I haven't seen World's End.
That was good.
So I didn't see that, but I
mean, there's a lot of room for argument on this one.
I don't know, man. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, this sucks because I'm gonna tell you.
Don't. Okay, Let me just go through my list.
All right.
The whole list.
The whole thing. You're gonna go. No, go. Let's do.
Give me your number 10.
I don't have a number 10. I'm just gonna give you a movie.
Okay. Give me a movie. Just give me a movie.
Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Okay. I like Spider-Man: Homecoming. That is on my list as well.
Okay, but you're not gonna tell me where.
Do you want me to tell you where?
No, because this defeats the purpose of the whole list. Okay, but anyway, Spider-Man: Homecoming. is effing awesome.
For our listeners, this may get confusing.
It is. It's gonna get confusing.
How about this? We tell
let's
each other, in a jumbled order,
right?
And then I will tell you in what order they are without going into explanation.
Okay.
Let's just talk about our top.
Okay. All right. That sounds good.
Okay. So let's go back to Baby Driver.
All right.
So Baby Driver is on both our lists.
Yes.
And I did like it. I mean, the choreography as far as like the driving scenes.
Yes.
All the actors are amazing. Until I really enjoyed Kevin Spacey until the whole sexual allegations thing.
Okay, like with that being like, okay, this past year, we
always knew he was a dick. Let's be honest.
Right, that's true. Like, I always said, there's something about this guy I don't like, but that makes him a great villain. Mm-hmm. But it turned out he was actually a villain in real life.
He was really a villain in real life. He really was. And if you've seen House of Cards, he's a little gay, and he's gay in real life. So
yeah, well, whatever. But I do. Are you able to separate the artist from the
Yes, I can
person?
Do that.
You know what I mean?
But
it depends because like
there's lines.
You say Roman Polanski. I love some of his movies, but holy God, dude.
Well, it's just like a good example is, and I can't think of the director's name, but the director that did
Jeepers Creepers. I knew you were gonna say that. I won't watch any of his movies because I found out about them before I watched them.
See, and I didn't know about it before the first Jeepers Creepers.
Right. So to me it's tainted. Like I can't even watch the first one because I already know.
Golden Globes are tonight, and we're going to be seeing a protest tonight. All the ladies are wearing black. And they're going to be protesting and uniting against all this thing. So a little off topic, but it's going to change the industry a lot. It's going to change our view, especially any kind of Weinstein films. Everything's changing now. It should
Tarantino is no longer. No, he's no longer attached to he's not. Detached himself from.
But there's some new controversy on that too.
What?
There's some new controversy. Well, he was close friends with Weinstein, right? And then Robert Rodriguez is also wrapped around this because Planet Terror, right?
Yeah.
McGowan, the main actress, Rose, was dating Robert Rodriguez at that time. Uh-huh. They made the movie, and Robert Rodriguez recently said, "Oh, I made this as a stab at Weinstein, like an F you to Weinstein. Powerful woman, fuck you guys." And it turns out that Tarantino's close to Weinstein,
right?
And there's a scene where he attacks McGowan, and she was in the movie. Who
attacks McGowan?
Tarantino.
He's a zombie?
Yeah. In Planet Terror.
What? Okay, it's because I saw this movie once, because it was not my favorite of the two.
And supposedly it was uncomfortable for her, and that Robert Rodriguez did it as a joke. Yeah, so there's still some kind of tension there. Like Rose is like, you know what, Robert Rodriguez is full of shit. He didn't make this movie for me or to get back at Weinstein. He made it because he wanted to make it. I was his girlfriend at the time, so I was the star. And Weinstein's friend Tarantino was in it and attacked me in the movie, not in real life, but in the movie, and it was just awkward. And I was like,
wow, I did not hear this. That's weird because honestly, like Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez are best friends. Yeah. I don't know. Well, okay, yeah, let's move on.
That's a whole other conversation.
That sucks, yeah, but okay.
But anyway, Baby Driver, why'd you like it?
Oh man, the editing, the music, the cinematography, that kid, I forgot his name, but I like him a lot as Baby.
Yeah, he was good.
I forgot his name. But you have phones, right? Okay. But yeah, like I loved everything about it. I loved John Bernthal. I loved
I wish there was more Bernthal.
Me too. But John Hamm.
John Hamm was
awesome. Yeah, John Hamm was awesome in this movie. That whole end scene. Oh, should we do spoilers or nah?
You can just say the end scene was interesting.
Yeah, okay, let's avoid spoilers because But I honestly loved like every minute of this movie. I remember I saw this on a date.
Ansel Elgort.
Okay, he's awesome.
Yeah, he played Baby.
And the girl too. I forgot her name in the movie.
Lily James plays Deborah.
Lily James, she's awesome too.
And I don't know why, but Isa Gonzalez that plays Darling, John Hamm's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she is hot, dude.
She is fine.
But I'm telling you, like that movie was just so cool, dude. Like I loved that movie. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I saw this on a date also. Dude, I dated a lot this year, man.
That's good for you. Good for you. I've been married.
So I saw this on a date. The girl picked the movie, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Like I was like, because I really wanted to see it,
right?
But I was thinking she was gonna want to see something else. Mm-hmm. She didn't like it. She was like, "Oh, why is this and this and that?" I'm like, "Oh, there this is how I know. This is how I know we were not gonna be together."
And you know what? And there's a reason that it's in its position on my list. Everyone, we already said it's on number 10 on my list. Yeah. And I don't know if there's such a thing as this, because Marvel does a really good job of having big name actors and the chemistry between them, and it's good. For some reason, I think that there was so much star power in Baby Driver.
It took away from the movie?
It almost took away from it. Like, I couldn't fully get into Jamie Foxx being a hardcore bad guy. I don't know why. Same with Kevin Spacey. He was an asshole, and it was cool. But there was some weird chemistry that didn't work between all of them.
I'll be honest with you. The same thing happened to me with the Ocean's movies.
Yeah, something similar. Same effect.
Like, it just, to me, it was just like, oh, okay, here's Brad Pitt and George Clooney and Matt Damon, and
they're all in the movie.
Oh my god, and to me it was like, okay, that's cool. Mm-hmm. I just, they're okay.
Yeah.
But for me, Baby Driver was not like that for me.
There was something on the equation for that for me. Okay. I still enjoyed it. Everything you said. Yeah. Editing, filming, acting, everything. But there was just a weird vibe to it. Like, maybe there was something else happening that didn't really correlate or, come and transition into film the way that even Edgar Wright may have wanted it to.
Right.
But I still enjoyed it. One of the best movies of the year.
I agree. I agree with you.
I agree. All right, give me a random movie.
Okay.
Within your top 10.
I said Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh, Spider-Man Homecoming. That's on my list as well.
It's awesome, dude. Hands down, I think best Spider-Man movie for me. In my opinion.
And I'm an Ultimate Spider-Man fan. Not the comic Ultimate Spider-Man, but I'm a big Spider-Man fan.
Oh right.
But huge. You look around this room, I have Spider-Man comics, action figures, a picture with Stan Lee wearing my Spider-Man shirt. Yeah. I'm a Spider-Man fan. Yeah. So I know the history, the characters, what kind of Spider-Man we need on screen, and up until Spider-Man Homecoming, my favorite was Spider-Man 2. Okay. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. And that was probably one of the best depictions.
Yeah.
But I want to say that Tom Holland is probably one of the best. I think he was the best Spider-Man.
Okay.
I think Tobey Maguire was the best Peter Parker.
Oh, interesting. I've heard opposite of that. I think for me, he was the best amalgamation of both. Okay. As in, overall, he wasn't maybe like the best Spider-Man, and he wasn't maybe the best Peter Parker. But overall, he was the best at it.
And you know what? He's playing such a young version of Peter. We don't get to see a lot of his big problems yet as an adult. But
oh man! But I loved it because finally in a Marvel movie, we get a good villain.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't really say that about all the Marvel movies. Like,
you really can't.
Like, Loki was okay.
Because you need a villain that's involved, and that's what made it good.
And then there's like gray areas where at the end of the movie, if you know what I'm talking about, the prom.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my god.
There's a lot of tension.
Yes.
And you know what? And in all honesty, even though I think for most people, even if you went into it and you expected that little twist, maybe you expected it, but when it happened, you were still like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh damn. And it was cool because as soon as the door opens and it's who it is, it's like, wow. So, Spider-Man Homecoming was... what made it a good movie was that it kind of even made it feel like a John Hughes film.
A little bit, yeah. I'm not a biggest John Hughes fan, but I appreciate it.
Yeah. And then there's a lot of like direct tie-ins to films like Ferris Bueller and stuff like that. Yeah. And they even put the actual footage of it, in the movie.
Right. Yeah, he's running through the neighborhood.
And it was funny. Yeah. It was funny. It wasn't over-the-top humor.
Right.
It was just casual humor, growing pains.
And
just this kid that wants to be Spider-Man more than a kid
Right.
more than a
So
teenager.
Spider-Man's on your list also.
Spider-Man is on my list.
All right.
All right. Let me give you one on my list.
Okay.
One you didn't see, War for the Planet of the Apes. It's on my list. I'll briefly just say, awesome. Great. This is like the perfect ending to one of the best trilogies ever made.
Oh man! So I have a feeling if I saw it, it would have been on my top 10.
It probably would have been on your
for
top
sure.
10. Yeah. So that's one of the. I mean, Caesar's story is one of the best. I mean, you can. If I put the Dark Knight trilogy against War of the Planet of the Apes, War of the Planet of the Apes wins.
Shut up. Okay, well, wow.
Because it's really good. It's just perfect.
It's one of the best trilogies because the first movie's strong, the second movie's strong, the third one's strong.
It gets stronger every film.
You could say like the Godfather trilogy. Like the first two are so strong that it makes up for the third one, but the third one still sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's good though. Like I like the fact that it just got better and better. It did get
better and better.
I'm really excited to see it.
And just the way they develop it, and it's tied up, so you don't need to see more.
Right.
They don't need to make any more if they don't want to.
Right. And then if they do, they can make it in the future or like
they can go further
down.
Yeah,
that's cool. Like I like
come
that.
back to the Tim Burton, Mark Wahlberg one if you want.
Right. Oh God,
where Mark Wahlberg's in prison.
Please no.
Okay, give me another one on your list.
Ooh, one that you didn't see.
Okay.
Coco. Coco.
Why should it be on the list?
Man, of all the movies this year, Coco's the only one that made me cry.
And that's hard for you.
Yeah, I don't really cry in movies. Like I didn't cry, but I shed a tear.
Dude, I cried in Finding Nemo. Imagine if I watched Coco.
No joke. Finding Dory. I almost cried at Finding Dory, but but yeah, no, Coco is just the same way, man. Like it really, to me, it brings me back to like old school Pixar. Like great stories, amazing characters, tragic, heartwarming, misunderstandings. You know what I mean? Just like a lot of the things that kids go through.
Tug at your heartstrings.
And then not only that, we're both Hispanic, we're both Mexican American, so both of us would relate a lot more to it than most, I would say.
Yeah.
But a lot of stuff is in this movie that the music is amazing, the visuals is incredible, like like stunning, beautiful movie. I wish I had seen this like in IMAX or something.
Really?
Because it's beautiful looking. It's a gorgeous movie to watch. So it's one of my it narrowly missed my top 3.
Wow.
So I might be like number 5 or 4.
Okay.
Because it's that good. It's that good. I loved it so much. Give me another one.
Let's give you one that you did not see. Atomic Blonde.
Oh.
Atomic Blonde.
That's in your top 10?
That's in my top 10.
Damn.
It's in my top 10. Granted, I didn't get to see everything I wanted to see. And my list is very weird because it's one of those lists where I'm like, I could probably still take out Atomic Blonde and put something else in there.
Right.
But Atomic Blonde, my Hollywood crush is Charlize.
Right.
Like, oh my gosh, she is so beautiful.
Yeah,
gorgeous.
She is gorgeous.
And the stuff she does in this film, oh shit.
What? Damn it.
We got, and you see it in the trailer.
I'm very upset that I didn't
lesbian
see
scene
this.
that I'm like, oh my gosh. And the action, I mean, she can carry her weight. She is the female John Wick. Like, it was just good. And it's based on a graphic novel, and it was really good. And the story was interesting. Great actors, it was a great adaptation. So I think it's on like that top 10 list where people should watch it because it was just all around fun.
Wow. That sounds great.
You should probably watch it.
That sounds great. I don't know if you saw this movie or not. You didn't mention it in your top or like in the ones you didn't see or anything. The Disaster Artist.
Yes, that's on my top 10 list.
You saw it.
I did see it.
Okay.
But
here's a question though.
No, I did not.
You didn't see the room.
I didn't see the room.
Okay.
I know that's the question.
Okay. So then for you had a different experience because I've seen the room before. Right. So I want to get your take on it first.
Okay.
What puts it on your top 10?
James Franco really puts it on the top 10 because I'm familiar with The Room.
Right.
You've
seen the scenes and stuff.
Scenes, yeah. I haven't seen the whole film, but I've seen the scenes. And just seeing James Franco disappear into Tommy,
Yeah.
you know, how do you say his last name?
I did not hit her. It's not true.
It's not.
I did not.
Oh, hi, Mark. I mean, the acting was awesome, and it was just cool seeing the brothers together. The
Franco brothers.
Yeah, the Franco brothers, both on the same.
Tommy Wiseau.
Tommy Wiseau.
Wiseau, yeah.
And
Wizzo. I say Wizzo.
What's up? Just seeing, and you know what? It was not just that, but it's kind of funny because you and I are like to be filmmakers or consider ourselves filmmakers. Yeah. And, you know, Tommy just really wanted to be a filmmaker.
You know what? And it was inspiring.
It's inspiring. He went to great lengths.
That movie was inspiring to me.
And I guess the only drawback is that we'll never know where he even got his money from because he was just rich as hell.
Right.
But, you know, just the fact that he put that money into making this movie because that was his dream. Mm-hmm. But it's also tragic because it feels mostly like he was in this class for fun, maybe looking for a friend. He found a friend and decided to just jump in on that interest, even though maybe what if he had never met that guy? He probably would have never tried to make a movie.
It's interesting because
he made it for him.
Also, not just that, but I also read the book. Mm-hmm. So the Disaster Artist book. Mm-hmm. That one goes into way more detail. Like, obviously, when you adapt a movie, you gotta leave some stuff out.
Obviously. Because
there's no way. That'd be a very boring movie.
Godfather would be a 10-hour film.
Oh, God. And I think I wouldn't like it as much. But yeah. So there's a lot of stuff. I want to say that maybe they didn't convey that very much. Like, I think, honestly, Tommy wanted to do it too, but I think what Greg did is he added more
depth.
But he also he sparked a new interest into Tommy. You know what I mean?
Maybe
like,
Tommy was getting bored.
Yeah, like he was just like, maybe I'll never do it. And then like here's this kid who's like I really want to do it, but I'm really scared and so it's like no.
And honestly, if they didn't have each other,
yeah,
then nothing would have ever happened.
Yeah.
He Mark, right? He would have never.
Oh no, well Mark is a character name, but his name is Greg Sestero.
So Greg Sestero probably would have pursued acting if it wasn't for Tommy.
I agree.
And vice versa.
Exactly.
So, you know, they needed each other to get to the level that they're currently at. And just seeing like even like little cameos, you know, Bryan Cranston, stuff like that. The Artist was Disaster Artist was a good movie. Yeah,
I loved it so much. Definitely in my top. I don't know if it's my number 4. I would say because it was close to being my number in my top 3.
I don't know if these are on your list, but these were some surprises for me. I'll just start off with this one, and let's see if it's there for you.
Okay.
One of the 2 surprise hits for me of 2017. One of them was Split.
Ooh.
For some reason,
okay.
So Split, you know, when it was advertised in Night Shyamalan, it essentially he's been slowly making his comeback, but this was his comeback movie.
Okay.
Because he's contributing to a larger universe, the Unbreakable universe. And we didn't know that until the end of the movie.
This movie was awesome.
It was awesome. And McAvoy is a genius.
Right. Somebody had already kind of ruined it for me because they said, "Oh, it ties into."
Right, but I still wanted to see it.
Me too. And then when I saw it, I was like, "How does this tie in?" And until the very, very end, you see it, and it's like, "Oh man, this movie's great."
Yeah,
the movie was great, and the visuals, even like just the visuals itself, they were really creepy. Yeah,
it kind of went back to that old school Shyamalan thing because it was. You missed how creepy he could be with his movies. Mm-hmm. And just like the scene, for example, when the guy's crawling on the ceilings and the girl's trying to run away from him, and it's just freaky.
Yeah.
And and the personalities, all these personalities that he plays is just different characters.
Oh,
and
I know.
You're like, oh my God, this guy could really pull off being a psycho, you know? And... just looking forward now, because now it gives us something to look forward to. Now we want to see the next installment, Glass, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see how the universe grows, and if they just stick to 3 films.
I also love the titles. Unbreakable, Split, Glass. Like it it sounds awesome. They're awesome.
Can I give you the other one?
Yeah, that's fine.
My other one on my top 10, other surprise hit, Get Out.
Get the hell out of here.
Wah, wah, wah.
That's all. That's not on my list, but I'll talk about it a little later also. But let's talk about it right now, though.
You know what? And Get Out was one of those also surprise hits. It plays off as, like a horror film,
right.
You know? But it's crazy. It's also like that M. Night Shyamalan feel, you know, and seeing it come from Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
You're like, wow.
I didn't know what to expect from him whatsoever, you know.
And it has a little bit of everything. It has a little bit of comedy but like that dark comedy. It's intense. And it's just this point of view that kind of plays a part on people's minds. Like, oh, damn, is this how we look at certain people?
Right. Oh yeah, it's great social commentary, but it wrapped in a very funny and entertaining and scary, movie.
It was
awesome.
And I thought it was hilarious because I thought, maybe white people really are jealous that black people are better at everything. Oh,
bro, I'm telling you right now, like, because minor spoiler, the grandpa that lost to Owens.
Yes.
He put himself into a younger black body.
So he could be faster.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, dang, that's so crazy.
And just having, and then, the jokes out there of white women taking black men. And it's exactly how it played out. So he plays on all these stereotypes.
I loved it. Like, it was so close to get into my top 10. Yeah, it was really close.
It found its way into mine. I still have my top 3, but we're gonna save those. What are we missing from your list that's not in your top 3?
Oh, I have a couple actually.
Okay.
It.
That's okay.
Was that in your top 10 at all?
Maybe.
Okay,
not.
maybe.
It could be in my runner-ups. I'll let you know.
Well, It.
Yeah.
When I first heard that they're gonna remake this movie, I was like, I don't know.
Dude, I was excited because it was so outdated.
No,
now.
I know, but I was just like, I don't know, maybe. Mm-hmm. And then they saw the first image of it. And then I'm like, oh, I don't know if I like this at all. Like the imagery didn't look that great to me.
Right. But see, that kind of like takes me back to when Heath Ledger was cast as Joker.
No, I was like, that's true.
No. Then they showed the image, and I was like, he looks cool, but no, he's not going to pull it off. And then fucking what?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that being said, the movie comes out, the trailers come out. And I'm like, holy God, like, what is this? Like, the imagery that they showed prior to the trailers didn't do it justice, in my opinion. Like, it was like, you're painting one picture and you gave me something else, you know?
Yeah.
You gave me something amazing. Because then I was like, okay, is this movie going to be good? Hopefully it was, and it was great.
It was awesome.
I loved it.
It went past my expectations.
It did, yeah, me too.
It freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was more of a character piece on these kids and the clown. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my God, Pennywise, Skarsgård. Ooh,
yeah, I mean, I bet you anything, New Kids on the Block got, like a boost in sales.
Oh heck yeah. You got some Stranger Things kids in this film.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just amazing.
I loved this movie so much. I wouldn't say it was like my top 5, but it was like number 8 or 9.
Okay.
But it was great. Like, I loved this movie so much.
Okay.
Another one that wasn't in my top 1, 2, 3, Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
So you were right when you said that it captured the essence and all that. Also, it was just a really good detective story. Like, it was slow. It was a slow burn. It's not supposed to be like fast action what people think it was gonna be.
Right.
And I think that's what people thought it was gonna be when the first one came out, because you had movies like Star Wars and all the adventure, and people like, oh, another science fiction with Harrison Ford. Yeah, exactly. So when they saw what it was, I'm sure it flopped. You know what I mean? It bombed.
Definitely.
But I really appreciated this movie. It was a beautiful. Roger Deakins was the cinematographer. it was like literally like you can pause the movie at any point in time, and it's like a painting.
So
you know what I mean?
You're thinking he might win the Oscar cinematography?
Oh, I hope so. I mean, there are
maybe even a Golden Globe.
From everything I'm looking at that I saw, it's the best looking movie for sure. It's one of the best looking movies.
Yeah,
for sure. And I love Denis Villeneuve. I can't say his name, but he did Sicario, which takes place here in El Paso. And in one of my favorite movies for the last couple years was Prisoners.
Yeah.
So I felt like he delivered. The movie did not do very well.
Just like its predecessor.
Yeah, because, well, okay, so this is the guy I watched, John Campea. Mm-hmm. He was saying that the movie trailers did not sell this movie on what it was.
Right. And that's the most case with any movie nowadays.
Yeah, and like it basically didn't show you anything. And I think that hurt it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, but the movie that I did get, like that aside, like the trailers aside, I thought it was great. I loved it. Another movie that is not on my top 1, 2, 3 is Thor.
Okay, nice.
I didn't think because
that movie could be or may not be on my top 3.
So. Okay, so check it. Like when I saw the first Thor, I fell asleep, and I was I don't think I like it. And then I saw it at home, and I was like, oh, you know what? It was good.
It's alright.
The second one was, oh my god, worse. Like I was like, no. But then you're going to throw in Hulk in there, and you're going to throw him in a gladiator type of environment. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, I'm excited for Thor.
Yeah. And Thor, I think by the time they were done with the second film, they were like, you know what? Let's just turn this shit on its head. let's just have fun with Thor. And it's a totally different side of Thor. It's a character side of him we never seen. It's more comedic. It's a buddy comedy. It's like Lethal Weapon, And then the whole Gladiator Hulk, it refers to some of my favorite comics, Planet Hulk and World War Hulk. Mm-hmm. But Planet Hulk, same concept. Hulk sent to a planet, except, in the movies, it's the Hulk's choice. In the comics, it's not his choice. The Illuminati, these other, powerful guys, send him. And it was just cool. As soon as they said that he was wearing gladiator armor, I was hooked. I was like, hell yes. Yeah. Because that's what I want to see.
And dude, like, this movie was probably the funniest of all the MCU movies.
Yes.
Even over the first Guardians.
Yes.
And I think it was the darkest. Like, a lot of shit happens in this movie.
What do you think made it dark?
I'll tell you right now. But, like, other than, like, maybe Civil War and Winter Soldier, this is the darkest. Like, there's some shit went down in this movie that, like, holy crap. Thor loses his hammer. Destroyed.
Yeah.
Odin.
Passes, yeah.
Okay. And then Thor... Oh, Asgard. Gone.
Gone. Destroyed.
Yeah, and Thor loses something very valuable.
Yeah.
So... There's a lot of things that happen in this movie. You probably didn't even realize how dark it was.
But it was, it was dark for Thor. But and I guess it didn't come through as dark. And actually, there was even dark humor when they were carrying around the body.
Yes, that's right.
And he's like, oh no, he's alive.
No, oh my god. So I'm telling you, this movie was hilarious. Mm-hmm. It had the most stakes, I would say. Maybe not the darkest, in tone.
Essentially, Thor lost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But tone was not dark, but the stakes were super high, and he lost.
Yeah,
and you're like, holy crap, what's gonna happen at the end of this? What's next to come? So I'm excited to see what's next.
Well, based on the end credits, it just gets worse.
I know, exactly. So. Mm-hmm. That's why this movie was so entertaining on many levels.
Oh yeah.
Performances, comedy,
the surprise cameo in the beginning.
The cameo, the cameos. This movie, I loved it. I loved it. This is close to getting my top three, but it was not. And I'll give you the...
Are you in your top 3 now?
No, because you actually already mentioned...
2.
You already mentioned one of my top 3.
Which one?
Baby Driver.
Okay, I'll give you was that number 3?
That was number 2.
That was number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do 3 and 2.
Well, I still got one that's definitely in your number. It's probably up there in your number 1 or 2. So I'm just gonna get into my number 3.
Okay, what's your number 3?
The Big Sick.
That was a good movie.
I loved it.
It was surprising.
That was the most pleasant surprise for me.
Yeah.
I like that I forgot his name, but the one that's in Silicon Valley.
Yes.
Dude, I freaking became a fan of him overnight, you know? Like, I already liked him because of Silicon Valley, but then this movie was just, wow. I was very impressed.
And the chemistry between them.
And it's a true story.
And it's his story.
Exactly, which is even crazier. Like, that's the craziest part of it, is that he wrote it, and it's actually a true story, and it really happened. In fact, you even see a picture at the very end of the real girl.
Yes.
So it was like, wow, man. Like, it was just so heartfelt, and it was just a great movie, man. It was a great movie.
And I really couldn't say his name even if I tried.
Let me see.
But it's Kumail Nanjiani.
Let me see. Kumail.
Yeah.
Kumail, I think.
But Holly Hunter and Ray Romano were probably like the biggest parts of the movie that made it awesome for me.
Yeah, that too.
And the stakes were also high in it because he broke up with this girl, and then he had to be there when she went to the hospital, contact the parents who knew everything about their relationship, and already hated him from the beginning. Mm-hmm. He wins them over, and it's just
and then you
crazy.
think it's gonna be like, oh, when she wakes up, it's gonna be a happy ending, but no, you gotta remember, like,
the last memory.
Yes, exactly. So it was just, and the fact that it was actually a true story made it all for me. Like, it was such a great movie. Like,
great love story.
I loved it. That's why it's definitely in my top 3.
That's awesome.
And my top 2 was Baby Driver, but we talked about that.
That was number 2?
That was number 2. What's your number 3?
Okay, so my number 3 is cliche, but I enjoyed it and I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I could watch this again and enjoy it. The ending was a little harsh for me. I didn't really enjoy the ending too much, mainly the villain. So this movie is Wonder Woman. I really did like Wonder Woman.
Really? That's number 3?
That's number 3.
Wow.
It carried the weight of the DC universe.
Yeah.
Even though I think Justice League kind of just put a nail in the coffin, and it's going to end now.
Who knows what's going to happen?
And for Gal Gadot to be not really a big name actress to begin with, she's gorgeous. Mm-hmm. She pulled off the acting.
Yeah.
There's some really nice visuals in this. The story was actually pretty solid, even though it's very similar to Captain America.
It's very similar.
It's practically Captain America.
But I love Captain America.
It's World War II. There's a Steve.
Right.
There's a plane crash.
Well, this
dies.
is World War One.
World War One, sorry.
Yeah.
But it's still same concept, same story. You still have a band of soldiers.
Yeah.
They travel through this war-torn land.
Yeah.
There's love stories, tensions. It's almost...
Actually, you're right, because thinking about it, like...
It's the exact same thing.
Like, Steve goes off on a plane.
Yep.
In both movies.
Yep. The girl stays back.
And then...
lets them go. And, it's everything, and
that's actually very true. But yeah.
Villain almost essentially dies in the same way.
Uh-huh.
And the villains weren't really worth it. Whatever. The villain even looked super weird.
Yeah.
But whatever. It was
visually stunning.
Visually
stunning. It's one of the most beautiful, like, between this, another movie, and Wind River, and
and I heard Wind River had some really, really good visuals when you were talking about it. I really need to see it. It's on your queue, actually, so I need to
Yeah. Okay, well.
So that's my number 3.
It didn't quite make it. Like, that was one of the ones that was like...
at all.
It did. It was about to. No, it didn't.
Okay,
so
okay.
I was like one of the ones I'm like, oh no, like, you know what I mean? So.
All right. So that was my number 3.
Okay.
I have a number 2.
What was your number? Did we talk about?
We haven't talked about number 2 yet.
Have we talked about your number 1?
No.
Okay, so I have.
You have a number 1 still. That's.
I still have a number 1, and I still have one that's not on
there.
my top 3.
Okay, so my number 2 might be within your 10.
Yes,
Okay.
I believe both movies are.
And this is just fanboyism. Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
That's the one that was not on my top 3, but it was
in the list.
In the list.
Star Wars, man, so much controversy, and
I don't understand it. I mean,
you don't understand the controversy?
I understand, but but it's so crazy because if you think about it, what were the fans saying about The Last Jedi? No, sorry, about Force Awakens. It's too much like the first movie. So what do? They make a brand new movie that's not very similar. Mm-hmm. And like, we don't like this. Yet, I don't know, man.
And you know what? If you want to look for a really good, honest review about it, look at Kevin Smith's review on The Last Jedi. Because he actually hit it right on the head. Like, it's a good movie. It's different. Mm-hmm. Fans wanted different. It was different. Mm-hmm. Not what they expected. Full of surprises. A lot of similarities. And if you want to hear about the similarities and my hardcore breakdown of The Last Jedi, listen to the first Nerdcast. Yeah. Because I break it down. I tell you exactly what I like, what I don't like. But, there's, one of the points that Kevin Smith brought up is like, they throw away a lot of characters. The movie essentially is getting rid of everything old about Star Wars and ushering in the new generation. Yeah. And there's points where they could have done it in a less brutal way. For example, spoiler alert, Admiral Akbar. Admiral Akbar is a legend in the Star Wars universe. It's a trap. It's a trap. Everyone knows it. And he didn't have time to say it because he got blown out of the fucking sky. He died.
But if you think about it, an admiral, right? He has a crew and he's a war veteran. How else would you want to go out?
I would have wanted him to go out the way that the girl Hordo, I forgot her name.
Hordo or something like that.
The way she went out.
Being a savior?
Yes, helping them escape, taking the chair and fucking going full blast into the fleet. I don't know
if... Okay, I agree that maybe she wasn't the right person to do that, but I don't think he would have been the right person either, or Fish. That would have been whatever.
Come on, think about it. Seeing Admiral Akbar, one of the last remaining characters from the original trilogy, go out like a badass.
He did go out like a badass.
Oh my god! You just need to shut up. You know nothing about Star Wars. But it was my number 2 because it was unexpected. Yes, there's a lot of similar correlations to Empire Strikes Back. A lot of it, and you can listen to it. Like I said, first Nerdcast, but it was good. It was something new, something fresh. Pissed off a lot of fans. Who cares? I'm a fan. I liked it. I want to see what happens next.
Me too. I loved it too. Like coming out of the theater, I was like, oh my god, this was amazing. Then a couple days kind of later, like I was like, oh, you know what? I don't think I loved it, mm-hmm. But it was still good. Like I still really liked it a lot.
Oh yeah, and it's gonna be up there. The original trilogy will always be my favorite 3.
Mm-hmm. Even over The Godfather.
No, I'm talking just in the Star Wars universe.
Oh, the Star Wars universe. I was like,
are you crazy?
Trilogy wise.
Trilogy wise, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Just, within the Star Wars universe, with all the movies they've made so far, originals are always going to be my favorite.
Yeah.
And then Rogue One, and maybe not Rogue One, but they're all good. But Last Jedi's up there. Okay, so are we both down to our number 1?
We're both down to our number 1.
Okay, so before we get to number 1,
right? Let's do our honorable.
What are our honorable mentions?
Well, funny you should ask because 2 of my honorable mentions were on your list,
and 2 of mine were on yours.
Really? Okay. First 2 that you said.
3 of mine were.
Oh dang! Okay, Split.
Okay.
Didn't quite make it. I was like, no, I don't want to take this off, but I took it off.
Okay.
Wonder Woman.
Okay.
That was like the one. I was like, if that's a list, then it's number 11.
I got you.
Because it was like, but I did see this movie and I saw this movie. What was your 3?
So I actually had...
Because I have 5 honorable mentions.
I have 6 honorable mentions.
Okay.
I wanted to limit it to 5, but...
well, then if that's the case, I'm going to pick a new one.
Well, let me knock the 3 out.
Okay.
Leave your 5 alone.
Okay.
My 3, The Big Sick.
Okay.
Great movie, honorable mention.
Wow, The Big 6. No, okay, I gotcha.
Thor Ragnarok.
Okay, all right.
It was a runner-up because I really did enjoy it. It was fun.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I just didn't make the list. And It.
Wow.
It was a very scary. I liked it. It was really good character development, but not full of surprises. I guess because I knew the story. I knew what I was going to expect. And it would, if anything, it would have been number 11.
Okay. All right. My other ones were Wind River.
Okay.
Solid movie. Loved it. I couldn't get it into my top 10.
Okay.
Just quite. Logan Lucky.
Okay.
Almost my top 10, but just awesome movie. I don't know if you've seen it.
Never saw it.
You need to watch that. It's a bunch of hillbillies pulling off a heist in the most spectacular way. It's awesome, man.
Okay.
And then Lady Bird.
Lady Bird. That's like the highest praised film of 2017, isn't it?
Yeah, well, just Rotten Tomatoes wise.
Rotten Tomatoes wise, right?
Like it means like almost everyone liked
critics,
it.
Yeah.
Like even if it was like a 70%, you know what I mean? Like it means that they liked it.
Yeah.
Even if it was just a little bit.
That's true.
So that's what that means.
Okay.
But yeah, it was really good. Good little indie movie. Very heartfelt. You know, almost had me tearing up toward the end, but you know, I didn't.
Okay.
The girl I saw it with did. Aww. She loved it. She's probably gonna be hating me because I didn't put it in my top 10, but it was really good.
Well, I do have 3 more in my runner-ups,
okay, gotcha.
my honorable mentions, and I'm gonna just give you spoiler alerts because I have to explain why.
Okay.
So spoiler alert on, let's just say all 3. More specifically, okay, well let's say Lego Batman surprised me.
Okay.
It was hilarious. I liked it because I'll tell you, I enjoyed Lego Movie.
Yeah.
It was funny. But it was highly praised. But I was like, you know, it was good. Mm-hmm. The twist at the end, that was cute. And for some reason, Lego Batman, it was more heartfelt. It was funny. The voices.
And
everything.
you know how much of a hardcore Batman fan I am.
I'm surprised it was not.
Not on my list.
Not even in your honorable mentions.
It was almost on my honorable mentions, but I really liked it a lot. Mm-hmm. I didn't love it. I didn't think it was the best. It was not in my honorables. But
another one that was on there is a Netflix original, Bright.
Can we really put
It's a movie. It's a movie.
Shouldn't we count these as like theatrical?
Releases? No, it's movies. What are your favorite movies of the year?
then I should say like some movie from China that never made it here.
Sure, it's a movie, you know what I mean? Right? It's a full-length feature. But you know what? Bright was enjoyable. A lot of people don't like it, but it was original, totally crazy.
So remember when I told you that I already saw it?
Yeah.
I didn't, because I just did not want to see it.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I will say this. You're not the first to tell me that it was amazing.
It's good.
Well, not amazing, but like this girl at work told me like, oh my God, I loved it so much. And I was like, oh, well, I really love David.
God.
Oh my God. I really love David Ayer. Yes. So...
Except
and I
for,
love Suicide Squad was just a letdown for me. Watch our Suicide Squad our review. You'll see how like I was kind of optimistic in the beginning, and then it just started going down from there.
Then we just kind of crashed.
Yeah, and then we just ranted about it. But for an hour.
Bright was cool because it's just as if we're in this real world and we're living and coexisting with fairy tale creatures. Mm-hmm. It was pretty cool. Okay. And I'll Joel Edgerton is the partner.
Right.
So good.
I'll watch it.
My final runner-up actually almost made my top 10 as well. Life.
Which was... Oh, Life. I did see that movie, but it wouldn't have been in my honorables, and it wouldn't have been
Dude,
in my top 10.
Liked it.
I liked it a lot.
It was in the traditional sense of sci-fi horror, just like Alien.
I really liked it.
They spoiler alert, they kill off Ryan Reynolds right away.
Yeah,
and
that twist ending at the end.
The twist ending where...
Like, I kind of saw that coming.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, I bet you anything he's actually the one floating off in space, and she's the one that landed.
Vice versa.
Oh, yeah. He's actually the one that landed in...
And it turned out to be that way. And you had a feeling, and you had hope that they were going to make it, but nope. Nope. And that very last scene where they don't even show you what's going to happen next. You just know that monster is going to take over the fucking world. Yeah. And it was just crazy. And how big could it actually grow? Could it consume planets?
Yeah.
Holy crap. And just seeing the terror, because, I mean... He's such a good actor, Jake Gyllenhaal. And he's just stuck in this ship. And he's telling them, don't open it. No, don't open it, please, for the love of God. And and you're like, oh my God. And these guys don't understand him. And then they pry open the door and it's over. Yeah. So, but that was one of my runner-ups. Now, do you want to get into our number one, or do you want to? Yeah, you know what? Let's just say our number ones. Right after that, we're going to say what our disappointments were.
Okay, gotcha.
I feel like we have the same number one.
We do have the same number one.
Logan
was incredible.
Logan was
You want to talk
amazing.
about a movie that almost made me cry also? That one.
You want to talk about a movie that did make me cry? Logan. You know what? The first moment I cried, 2 moments. I cried 2-3 times in this movie, man. Because we've invested so much time from the very first X-Men.
That's very true.
You know?
That's very true.
And no matter how good or bad some of those X-Men movies were, Wolverine was a part of them. Mm-hmm. And Hugh Jackman was a part of them. And this is his love letter, his goodbye. I really hope, even after this merger with Fox and Disney, I don't want to see Hugh Jackman again because it was the perfect movie.
Send-off, yeah.
Perfect send-off. Sir Patrick Stewart, man. He needs to win a Best Supporting award.
I agree with you because... He was so good. Yes. Like, and then, like...
It was heartbreaking.
Spoiler alert, because we're going to get to some spoilers now.
Yeah.
The fact that he was the one that ended up killing everyone.
Yes.
When he probably thinks that Logan did.
Mm-hmm. The whole time.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking, man.
Yeah.
And then just seeing him, like, that glimmer of hope with... When they're all at the dinner table... and you know, like
and
Laura, and it's just like, oh my God.
And then the moment,
so tragic.
The thing where I started just breaking down a little bit was, I mean, that's when I started breaking down. I broke down from the moment Logan was carrying Patrick, or Logan was carrying Professor X,
right? And
he was saying, "It wasn't me, and I was like, I'm getting teary-eyed just thinking about that."
You're right.
And he's trying to tell him it's not me. I swear, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, and he's losing his father figure, the one that let him into the X-Men.
Yeah.
And we have a whole review also on Logan, and you should listen to that one too if you get a chance on the NerdFellas page. But from the moment that Patrick Stewart's character, Professor X, dies to the moment he's buried, and Logan's trying to say, you know, he has water. It's a good piece of land, and he's choking up, and then Laura's trying to hold his hand, and he just gets fucking pissed and walks away. Oh man, I cried.
Dude,
I cried.
It was incredible. Like,
it was a good movie.
And you know, actually, recently I just found out that in The Wolverine, the one that came out a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, it was predicted.
Yes, well, yeah, like she said it. Like,
you're
holding your heart, and you're full of blood, and you're holding your heart, and that's
in your hand. You're holding your heart in your hand.
And that's exactly the way he went out. Like, he's full of blood, and he's holding Laura, which was his heart. And it was just, oh my God, it was incredible, man. Yeah. Like, I really am telling you.
And it was a whole new level for superhero movies.
Oh man, like it transcended a typical superhero movie.
Yeah, because it shows you that this can be more than just your typical blockbuster.
And there's only been a handful of movies that have done that, like The Dark Knight. I thought, did that. Winter Soldier.
Yes, Winter Soldier towards the end, man. Woo.
I wouldn't even say Civil War did, but that one and Logan.
Yeah,
I'd say those 3 movies transcended the genre and just became not just good superhero movies, but just great movies.
Yeah, and it shows that you can take inspiration from classic movies and turn these superhero movies into character pieces. And Logan is a perfect example. And I think Logan deserves an Oscar nod. Like
I'm not gonna lie.
All around.
Out of all the movies that have come out, I hope it makes its way in there because it needs to be recognized.
It does need to be, even if it's just a nomination.
Yeah.
If they could nominate it for Best Picture, that'd be amazing. It won't.
You don't think so?
No.
I'm hoping it does.
That'd be amazing.
I would love that.
I would just love it if Sir Patrick Stewart won an award. Yeah. Even Hugh Jackman, man. I mean, his acting was. I don't think I've seen better acting from Hugh Jackman, other than like maybe Les Miserables or something.
And people are saying that it's the best Patrick Stewart's ever been in anything.
Yeah, and he even admits it's one of his favorite acting.
Man, pieces. And not just we're not even being biased because the beginning of the movie takes place here in El Paso. Like, of course, it's because like El Paso's been a
heavy centerpiece in a lot of movies.
But yeah, and
not just because I love Marvel, And even if I think even DC fans could appreciate, anyone watching this movie, man. It was
just so heart-wrenching. And then even just the trailer with the Johnny Cash song,
God, just that
fucking
trailer,
just
man.
tear me to pieces now, man. Like seriously, like it felt like Wolverine just shredded me. You know what I mean? Like it was.
And his last words.
Then, what did you think? Because both you and I went to go see the noir version, which was the black and white version. What did you think of that?
You know what? The noir version made it more. It didn't take away from it. It just gave you a different way of looking at it, a different level of looking at it.
I would argue that it instead of it,
I think it took away the emotion.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
For me, it did.
Okay. I could see that. I could see that.
It was still emotional.
Right.
And you could see it happening. But I don't know. Something about having that raw, harsh colors in the original, I felt more emotionally tied to it versus a black and white version.
I'm not going to lie. I thought what the black and white version did for me was that it made me focus on the story way more. You know what I mean? Because instead of it just being action or whatever, and all these great action set pieces, you know what I mean? Like, time. But instead of it just being all that, like it really just made me focus on the story. Like because it takes away all the fanciness of the explosions and the whatever, and it just really makes you focus on the story. And so on that level, for me, it was more effective.
Even a story for even director wise, Mangold.
James Mangold. Ooh. And it's funny because like he directed
the Wolverine,
but he also directed the Walk the Line.
Oh yeah,
and so
it was perfect.
The fact that he used that.
The studio was probably like, you know what, you got us an Oscar night or a win, so we're gonna let you use this music.
Right, I know it was perfect, dude, for that trailer.
Yeah, we can go on and on about Logan.
Logan was just absolutely my favorite of this year or this past year.
That was our number one. That's our top tens. No particular order. I don't even want to give you my order because I could probably jumble it around.
Me too. I agree. But like my 2, 3, and 3, 2, and 1 are for sure.
I might change my 2, 3, and 1. Let me change my 2, 3, and 1 real quick.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna give you my number 1 is Logan.
Okay. What was your number 2?
Star Wars.
Okay. I'm gonna keep it there.
No. I'm gonna put Logan number 1. I'm gonna move Planet of the Apes number 2.
Oh crap!
And I'm gonna put Star Wars number 3.
Star Wars number 3.
And then for the rest of the numbers, you can mix around Wonder Woman, Spider-Man, Atomic Blonde, Disaster Artist, Get Out, and Split. That's the rest of them. There were also movies that we had high hopes for, and just kind of burned us to the ground, or maybe
this is the wah list. the wah wah. Man. Okay, so some of these movies are not bad.
No, yeah.
But they were just I expected more.
Yes.
Some of them are bad, though.
Yes. I can. I'll give you the ones. I'll start off with one that was not a horrible movie, but I was kind of disappointed.
Okay.
But you want to go first?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. There's actually. Okay, so I have 5.
Me too.
3 of them were enjoyable, but also disappointing. And 2 of them were just total shit.
Yeah, I want to say that we have maybe at least one of them on the same list. Okay.
Okay, so let's start off with let's 1.
Okay. Downsizing.
I didn't see it.
For me. Okay. The trailer depicts one thing, and what the movie is not exactly what the trailer depicted.
Okay.
I like the movie. I appreciated it. It has a good message, but it lacked a lot, especially watching the trailer thinking that, a spoiler alert, but not really, Zedeckis, what's his name, Andy?
Yeah. Jason Sudeikis.
Jason Sudeikis. You think he's in the whole movie. He's like in 5 minutes of the movie. And I was like, no, like I like their dynamic. Like it was, so I really missed it. The Kristen Wiig. Stewart. Kristen Wiig is literally in like 10 minutes of the movie.
The whole intro. And
then you don't see her again, and they don't even acknowledge her anymore. So I'm like, what the hell? Like, this could have been such a better movie, I thought. But I think what they're trying to do is like convey this message.
Oh, they tried too hard on that level.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, I don't
like Elysium.
So the girl I saw it with, I told her the exact same thing. I was like, Elysium's a movie where the movie was okay, and they like try to push this message, and it was like too much, and it took away from the enjoyment of the movie.
Exactly.
Same thing happened here.
Okay, let me give you one.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
That's on my list also.
It's a Marvel movie. It's a good movie.
It is good.
It was enjoyable. There's moments where you're just laughing.
Yeah.
But it played too much on the verge, and actually it did go over the top with the comedy.
Yeah.
It was too much. And it's okay. Like James Gunn is a really good director visually, has great actors, but I just felt like it stepped too far away from what the first one was. I think they could have toned down the comedy. They could have taken out a lot of characters. They had a lot of awesome Easter eggs to the Marvel universe, like the original Guardians of the Galaxy, where Yondu was originally part of one.
Right.
There was a lot of good Easter eggs, but it's just, it was still disappointing. Too much comedy, over the top. Probably one of the best villains, I want to say, secretly,
Right.
But overall, it wasn't one of my favorites. I wanted it to be good, and
I agree. Like it was definitely. I was expecting way more from it, and maybe that's my fault. But when you go to a Marvel movie, you kind of expect you already have this high standard. You know what I mean? And I felt like it just didn't live up to that whatsoever.
Yeah. What else you got?
I don't know if you saw this one, Battle of the Sexes.
Did not see it.
I saw it last night. Expecting it to be like, oh my god, this was amazing and hilarious or whatever. I will say Emma Stone is amazing in it.
Okay.
She's great. And Steve Carell is good too. I wouldn't say he's amazing in it, but it was a meh.
Whatever.
It was a meh movie, dude. Like I had these high hopes for this movie,
Yeah.
And when I watched it last night, I was just like, oh, okay. This is kind of forgettable, to be honest. Like, it sucked because I think it deserved a better movie than it got, but it was okay,
All right. Let's give you one that I almost... it's a good movie, but it should not have belonged in the universe. Alien Covenant.
I didn't see that.
It was good because it touched back on some of the roots of Alien, but it was not an Alien movie.
Okay.
It was a movie about the robot Dave.
Is it more like a Prometheus?
It's in the middle. It's in the middle of Prometheus and what Alien should be. And it's time to stop making these fucking movies.
Really? So you don't even want them to...
I don't want any more Alien movies.
You don't even want them to catch up to Alien.
They did enough damage, I think. They bridged as much as they could already. We saw the Alien in Alien Covenant.
Okay.
I think we're done. It was just, it was too much. It didn't play. If they took out Dave completely, the robot, and they concentrated on a new character similar to Sigourney Weaver, something. I don't know. There's something that's missing from this movie, and I not that I didn't like it, like I said, but it was a disappointing movie for me.
Well, I can't blame you there. I've heard the same, although I will say I think Carlos loved it.
Yeah, see, and like I said, it did a lot of callbacks to the original. We finally see the alien. There's more of a horror vibe to it, just like it should have been. But it could have been a different movie. You could have made a movie about this and not called it Alien Covenant, and it would have probably been better.
Yeah, because it's attached to the franchise.
Yeah, it kind of takes away from the actual franchise. I mean, not like it hasn't already been taken away. Right. With Prometheus or even the other Alien 3 and after, pretty much. What about you? Give me another one.
I want to save the one I think you have for last. Okay. But one that was just terrible. Okay. One that I was just like, oh, it's got these people in it. Wow, okay, I'm interested. Oh, it's futuristic. Okay, I'm interested in that too. The Circle. It was just a circle jerk. You know what I mean? Like it was bad. It was bad.
Emma Watson.
Emma Watson cannot hide her British accent whatsoever.
And Tom Hanks.
It was just a throwaway, man. Like
it was a paycheck.
This was just like a paycheck. Exactly. This was just a paycheck. For maybe both of them. And Finn, what's his name?
John Boyega.
He's in it too? Nothing. Wow. It was just, and the kid from Boyhood.
It was probably like, you know what? We need a movie with Tom Hanks. Here's a script. Hire this guy, that girl.
Oh, and Patton Oswalt is in this movie too.
Oh, wow, that's random.
Yeah, exactly. It just like the characters that these people were playing did not fit them.
Gotcha.
They not one person felt believable in this movie.
That's what the problem was.
On top of that, it took some elements of a script that I've been working on and put it in this movie, and I feel like fuck if I were to make my movie, people are gonna think that I stole from this movie.
Well, you know what? You can just now say it's inspiration from a horrible piece of shit movie called The Circle.
I guess, but really, like, I was kind of mad about that, to be honest. But it is very disappointing. It was, and then on top of that, okay, so it was another date. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so this should be like a story of like my date, my dating life. Anyway, but. So it was me meeting this girl for the first time, and we're all right. Let's go to the movies. I think she was like, "Oh, you're kind of shorter than I am, like by an inch or two, but like not drastic." Yeah. But I'm like, like I'm over all that stuff. You know what I mean? Right. I don't care, but I guess she did, and so the date was awkward. The movie sucked. And then at the end of it, it was just like
bad experience.
Bad night. It was just a bad night.
That's what happened with me with Spider-Man 3, but let's just not get into that because that's a whole other lifetime. Okay, I have 3 more.
What's your other ones? Well, yeah, because we had the same.
Which one do you want to say for last?
That one.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you one that should have ushered in a whole new universe.
I didn't even see these other ones.
All right, so I'm gonna just go through both of them. I'm gonna tell you 2 of the last 3 of the most disappointing movies. 1, The Mummy, was horrible. It was bad. It was Tom Cruise vomit. it was just like, I feel like the director was afraid of Tom Cruise, like, oh yeah, you want to do it this way? Okay, let's do it this way. Wow. And they made this shit movie. And it was supposed to usher in a whole new monster universe, revitalize the monsters from Universal. Mm-hmm. And it did nothing. All it did was say, hey, we're going to try and do this Avengers style and make this like a superhero monster movie.
I'm over the
don't do that.
The but I'm over the whole shared cinematic universe.
Yes, and you know what? I don't mind the whole shared thing with the monsters in Universal, but go back to horror, make it scary.
Yeah,
you know, and the closest thing to that was probably Dracula Untold, which I actually enjoyed, and it could have brought in a whole new universe, and they could have built off that one, I thought. But no, they decided to try it with the Mummy, and they just and they tried their best to say, oh look, we're gonna have Johnny Depp as the Invisible Man, and we're gonna have Russell Crowe and as Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. We're gonna have Javier Bardem as Frankenstein's monster, and they tried just force feeding us like, oh, we're gonna have big stars, it's gonna be amazing. And they just fucking crashed and burned. It was horrible. Another movie that just ruined my year because I'm a big kaiju fan. I love Godzilla. I love King Kong, Gamera, Rodan. I'm big on Japanese monsters, American monsters. I love it. Kong Skull Island was horrible.
Really?
It was...
I didn't watch this one either.
It visually sucked.
Really?
Visually, it was horrible. It looks
beautiful because like...
It is not beautiful.
Wow.
It's just like, I mean, tons of green screen. Let's throw in a bunch of orange and make it look like Apocalypse Now, and let's do it Vietnam era, which could have been awesome, and they ruined it. The highlight, John C. Reilly.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
He's the highlight because he was funny, made it funny, and it was just. None of the other actors, big name. It's just another example of big names can't save a movie.
Right.
And that's exactly what happened. And even there were moments with King Kong that were like, oh, cool, he's fighting these monsters. That's awesome. But Peter Jackson's is better. The original's better. Screw it. Even the one with in the 80s or the 70s with Jeff Bridges, even that one was better. I don't care. Kong Lives was better.
Right.
Even the Japanese version where King Kong fights a robotic King Kong. Was better.
I've seen the one where King Kong fights Godzilla.
That's bad. That was better.
There's no way, dude.
This is the worst King Kong movie I've ever seen. I'm sorry.
Really?
I hate it.
Wow.
I hate it.
And then you had Brie Larson in this.
She's beautiful, but
I love her too.
Couldn't do anything.
Wow.
Nope. Not even Tom Hiddleston.
That's really disappointing, man. Like
not even Sam Jackson. Not even.
You didn't even get to
John
see.
Goodman.
But he never even got to say motherfucker, huh?
No.
Because it's PG?
13.
Stupid.
Anyway, now let's come to our last and final disappointment of the year.
So we know what we're talking about here.
Go for it.
Okay, a movie that on any other day should have made more than Thor, more than Doctor Strange, more than any of the other movies that came out this year other than Star Wars.
Should have been one of the biggest hits of the year.
Remember I told you, even when it came out, when we first saw it, I was like, dude, this movie's gonna bomb. And it didn't bomb, but it barely made any. I don't even know what's the worldwide box office for it.
Who cares? Just tell us what it is.
Justice League.
Justice League. And you know what? I will say there were moments that I enjoyed. I did too. That I think were original to Zack Snyder's vision. Mm-hmm. And I liked. And, there's a lot of good points about it that, I'll tell you this. I went in, I enjoyed it, but I was taken away from it because of all the reshoots and all the editings of mustaches. It took away from the freaking movie, man.
It took me out of it for those reasons, but I'm thinking someone who didn't know all that stuff going into this movie,
you would still be wondering what the hell's going on with Superman's upper lip.
Yeah, it was that noticeable.
It was very noticeable. And then you get a Batman that's not really the Batman you met in Batman vs. Superman.
That was, I think, my biggest gripe with this movie.
Yeah.
Is that we met one Batman and we got a totally different Batman in this movie. Mm-hmm. Not the same person. Because the reason I love Batman, and even as a kid, I didn't watch Justice League, the show, because I don't like watching everyone else other than Batman.
Yeah.
But what I loved about that, I remember it was like a 3 3-episode or 2-episode story arc where they're gonna form the Justice League for the first time. Batman's the one that said no, because that's not how he rolls. In this movie, Batman's the one making the league. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it just, to me, it just didn't feel like the Batman we deserve.
And in all honesty, like, he knows there's a bigger threat coming.
Yeah,
and
okay.
He was afraid of Superman from the beginning.
Uh-huh.
Why aren't you afraid of Wonder Woman? Why aren't you afraid of Aquaman? You're learning about this whole new universe of people, and you're not afraid. Instead, you're trying to say, "Hey, let's all fight together." Mm-hmm. If you were that afraid of Superman, you should be afraid of everyone. There was a whole other story that could have been done with this, and there were moments that I enjoyed. Like a lot of people didn't like it, but I did enjoy when Superman comes back to life and he's holding Wonder Woman in one hand and Aquaman in the other, and Flash is running by and his eyes shift. And you see him. There were moments where I was like, "That's kind of cool." Yeah,
but there's like this misplaced comedy in there too, with even the coming from Batman with the
the blood thing.
The blood, like, I think I'm bleeding. I'm like, no, like I was kind of upset.
There was some Joss Whedon humor in there.
I think it would have worked if he would have directed it the whole way. You know what I mean? Yeah, because this tragic thing happened to Zack Snyder, which I would honestly wish no one ever go through that, you know? Yeah. And so I'm guessing they try to do the best they could from what they had.
I think they had everything they needed, and they could have just worked with that. But they decided to just redo the movie.
But at the same time, every movie has been divisive. Mm-hmm. You know, I love Man of Steel. Not everyone does, but I loved it. I hated Suicide Squad.
No, everyone can agree with that.
Batman versus Superman, I was like,
I'm split on that one.
I liked it, and then I saw it again, and I was like, okay, I think I like it a little more, but I didn't love it, and I didn't hate it. Same thing here. I didn't love it, and I didn't hate it, but it was just not what I wanted from a Justice League movie.
Yeah. Like, this was supposed to be a big deal.
Yeah, Justice League, and it did not even hit 100 million in its opening weekend, which should be its own video on its own. You know?
That's for another conversation.
That was just very disappointing, but the biggest wah-wah for last year was, for me, Justice League.
Well, there you have it, guys. I mean, that was our top 10 movies of 2017 with a few runner-ups and our disappointments.
How long have we been going?
We've been going for a while, guys. We apologize. We get to rant, we get to talk to you guys. If you stick with us the whole way through, thank you very much.
Yeah.
But let us know what you think. What were your favorite movies of last year?
What were your most disappointing movies of last year?
Yeah, and tonight we have the Golden Globes, so we're going to enjoy that tonight and maybe talk about that later. Yeah. In all honesty, between me and Martin or any of my friends, I'm the only one that actually watches the Golden Globes. So, I'm big on the awards season, so I will be watching that, and maybe we can talk about that some other time.
That sounds good.
We want to bring some Nerdcast to you every weekend. We're going to aim for that, and we have a lot of great shows lined up for this year, so
it's exciting, especially for a NerdFellas watcher. It's exciting. This is the time where you can get involved somehow, and we have big plans.
We have big plans, and we want you to be a part of them.
Yeah.
So we will talk more about that later. Other than that, please subscribe, check us out. Also go to, if you like pop culture tees, go to www.rippedapparel.com and you can type in the promo code NerdFellas. Get 10% off your shirts. These are 24-hour designs. They have awesome shirts. You'll see us wearing them most of the time on our YouTube videos. And Martin's wearing an awesome one right now, the Amazing Ninja Dude with Michelangelo and some pizza, very similar to a Spider-Man cover for Torment, if you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so there you have it, guys. That is all from NerdFellas. Any last words?
No, just thank you guys for hanging with us this last year, and hopefully this year everyone's having a great, new year.
All right. Nerd out.
Nerd out.